Namaste. Please come into an easy cross-legged seated position at the front of your mat. As you sit, check in with your posture. If you notice that your knees are lifted high above the level of your hips, place a folded blanket beneath your pelvis. This will help your hips and back relax so that you can sit upright with ease and experience a sense of openness across the front of your chest. Now, let's make a connection to the breath. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose and exhale out completely. Again, inhale deeply, breathe out completely. Repeat this a few more times on your own, breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the nose. Breath by breath, letting go of your past, letting go of your future, and inviting your whole self to begin relaxing into this moment. Feel the outer shell of your body softening. Release any gripping in your jaw and across the surface of your face. Relax your shoulders away from your ears and soften your belly. See if you can feel your hips blossoming open as your legs relax down upon your mat. Now, if you haven't already, begin to activate Ujjayi Pranayama, or victorious breathing. Allow the quiet whispering sound of your breath to soothe your body and mind. Let each inhalation and exhalation be slow, deep, and complete. Using your breath as your guide, begin to take your attention deeper into your body. As you breathe in, feel the breath traveling down into the base of your lungs, expanding your chest and rib cage from the inside out. As you breathe out, feel your chest and ribs releasing back and in. Let your shoulders, neck, and head gently ride on this wave of the breath. See if you can feel how even the arms and hands expand with your inhalation and shrink back inward with your exhalation. Now, take your awareness down deep into the center of your belly. As you breathe in, let your attention rest right behind your navel. Notice how you feel in this moment. Keep breathing nice and deeply. With your next breath in, go a little deeper and feel into the space of your pelvis. See if you can feel how the breath is flowing through this area of your body. Invite your hips to relax with your exhalation and allow your tailbone to release into the floor beneath you. Feel your connection to the earth, grounded and stable. Now, bring your awareness back to your breath and just feel your body being breathed. On your next breath in, take your arms out to the side and stretch them up and overhead towards the sky. As you breathe out, draw your thumbs down through center, resting your hands together right in front of your sternum in Anjali Mudra. Take a moment to silently acknowledge your own intention for your practice today. Take another breath in, letting your intention silently echo through the inner space of your body. When you feel ready, slowly release your hands and allow your eyes to gently come to open. Now let's begin warming up the body. From seated, transition onto your hands and knees and press back into child's pose. Let those hips relax down towards the heels. Release through the shoulders and the back of the neck. And if you'd like, you can let your head just rock a little bit from side to side to encourage your whole spine to let go a little bit. remaining connected to the breath, continuing to breathe in and out deeply and completely. We're going to move into an exercise called spinal push. I'd like you to let your hands slide back right alongside the ears, pressing the palms down into the mat and drawing the elbows inward. From here, as you breathe in, you're going to lift from your tailbone and lever forward through the spine, rolling up onto the crown of the head. Once you arrive here, just pause and draw your navel up and in towards the spine. Feel that the elbows are stacked right above the wrist. Spread your fingers, press down into the mat, and lift your shoulders away from your ears. Breathe in, feeling your spine rounding. Pressing down through the head as you exhale, roll back all the way into child's pose, letting those hips release towards the heels. We'll repeat this 2 more times with the breath, inhaling to roll forward onto the crown of the head, and exhaling, pushing off the head, just slowly rolling back, hips to the heels. Last time, breathe in through the nose, roll forward, and breathing out through the nose, pushing off the head and rolling back. And then go ahead and let your arms stretch back up in front. Take one nice deep breath in and out. On your next inhalation, shifting forward into tabletop pose. And from here, tuck the toes, walk your hands back, coming up into an easy little squat. And then just let your torso rest over your thighs, let your head hang nice and heavy. The heels don't have to be in contact with the floor here. You can just let the calf muscles stretch. Take a breath in, lift your chest, looking forward. And as you breathe out, lift your hips towards the sky, straightening your legs into an easy forward fold position. Let your head shake out a little bit. And you can let your spine sway from side to side. If the back of your legs feel really tight, go ahead and bend your knees as deeply as you need to. On your next breath in, we'll come into what's called halfway lift. Lengthen your spine, gaze forward, and then as you breathe out, soften your back and fold back in. One more time, take a breath in, lift your chest, looking forward. And this time, as you breathe out, walk your hands forward, coming into downward facing dog pose. And let's go ahead and warm up our down dog. You can let your knees bend and straighten, alternately pressing one heel towards the floor as you bend the opposite knee, and going back and forth a few times. Let your tail wag a little bit as well, so your hips are swaying. You'll feel your weight shifting between the two hands. We want the whole body to really begin warming up in this position, opening up the back of those legs. Find your breath. Breathe in nice and deeply. And then looking forward, and just begin to walk your feet up towards the front of your mat. Coming back into an easy forward fold, just letting the head hang. Softening the knees, and with your next breath in, rolling up into standing. Let your chin be the last thing that lifts. At the top, shrug your shoulders up, back, and down. Coming into your first mountain pose, Tadasana. If you need to, adjust your feet slightly and just begin to feel your weight being balanced between the left and the right. Standing tall and bringing the palms of the hands together at the front of the chest in Anjali Mudra. Breathe. Now let's move into full Surya Namaskar A, or Sun Salutation A. On your next breath out, release your hands down alongside your body. Inhaling, sweeping the arms overhead, gazing up as the palms touch. Exhale, dive over the thighs, forward fold. Breathing in, halfway lift, looking forward. Exhaling, walk, step, or hop your feet back, finding plank pose. Holding here, taking a breath and getting strong through the front of the body. Exhale, lowering down, chaturanga. Breathing in, upward facing dog, opening up the chest. Breathing out, downward facing dog. Take a full breath in. As you exhale, bending the knees, looking forward, walking, stepping, or hopping to the front of your mat, lifting your chest, breathing out, forward fold. Breathing in, lifting your chest again, reaching out with those arms and rising up, gazing towards the hands touching. And exhaling, sweeping the arms down alongside the body, hands to heart center. Inhaling, arms overhead, gaze up. Exhale, dive over the thighs, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, taking the feet back, lowering down, chaturanga. Breathing in, upward facing dog, lifting your gaze. Breathing out, downward facing dog. Inhaling the breath. Exhaling, preparing. And on your next breath in, walking, stepping, or hopping to the front of your mat. Lift your chest and extend your spine. Exhale, forehead towards the shin bones. Inhale, sweep those arms overhead, rising up. Exhale, arms sweep down, hands to heart center. One more time, breathing in, big sweep of the arms overhead. Exhale, dive over the thighs, forward fold. Breathing in, halfway lift. And breathing out, chaturanga, lowering down. Inhaling, press the tops of the feet as you open the chest, gazing up. Exhaling, downward facing dog. And breathing. As you exhale, you can let your knees bend a little bit, gazing forward. Inhale, walk, step, or hop to the front of your mat. Lift your chest, gaze forward. Exhale, nice deep fold, stretching through the back of the body. Breathing in, rising up, press through those feet, lift your thighs, lift your arms. And exhaling, back to mountain pose, Tadasana, hands at the heart center, and breathing. Now let's move into some longer holding standing postures. As you breathe out, go ahead and release your hands alongside the body. And on your inhalation, bending your knees, sitting back into chair pose, Utkatasana. Hold here for a moment. Feel the weight dropping down through the heels. And lift your lower belly up and in. On your next breath out, we'll dive over those thighs into forward fold, Uttanasana. Breathing in, halfway lift, looking forward. And exhaling, walk, step, or hop your feet back. Lower through chaturanga. Breathe into upward facing dog. Breathing out to downward facing dog. Lift the right leg for one breath, reaching it way up nice and high. And as you exhale, lunge that right foot forward between your hands. Dropping your back heel, we'll breathe in, rising up into Warrior Two pose, Virabhadrasana 2, and we'll hold here for about 5 breaths. Make sure your front knee is lined up directly over your ankle, pressing slightly towards the pinky side of your foot. Arms right in line with the shoulders. Feel your lower belly lifting up and in. On your next breath in, straighten your right leg. And as you exhale, coming into triangle pose, Trikonasana. If it's comfortable for you, take your gaze towards your lifted thumb. Holding here, letting your legs become nice and strong. Connecting to your breath, breathing in and out, deeply and completely. Take one more breath, holding strong. in triangle pose, and as you breathe out, release your left hand down to the mat. Come into a lunge position. I'm going to move into a balancing pose called Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Option 1 is to keep both hands on the floor and just lift your left leg up as high as possible. Option 2, keep your eyes steady on a point that's not moving and take your left hand to your hip. Option 3, lift your left arm straight up towards the ceiling and gaze up towards your lifted thumb. Now, if you want to intensify this pose, try bending your left knee, reach back with your left hand and grab your ankle. Kick your foot away from the body. Open up and expand the front of your chest. If you've got your foot, go ahead and release it. We'll take that left hand back down to the floor. And slowly bending into your right knee, lunge way back. Place your left knee down upon the mat. Press through the shin bone and the top of the ankle. You can keep your hands down on the floor, or if you feel ready, lift your arms as you breathe in, taking them up and overhead. Clasp your hands, reach out through your index fingers, and draw back with those arms to open your chest. You can continue to lean forward into those hips a little bit. Exhaling, release your hands down. Tuck your back toes, step all the way into plank position. As you exhale, lower through chaturanga, breathing into upward facing and breathing out back to downward facing dog. Take a breath. And let's move into side 2. Lift your left leg, take a breath in. And again, exhale, lunge forward. Drop your back heel, rise up into warrior 2 pose. Notice that your front heel is lined up directly with the arch of your back foot. Front knee right over that ankle and arms in line with the shoulders again. Feel your core becoming active as you draw your lower belly up and in. Fix your gaze on one point out in front of you and breathe. On your next breath in, straighten your left leg. As you exhale, reach forward, bending from that left hip, coming into Trikonasana, triangle pose. See if you can rotate from your sternum and gaze up towards your lifted hand. Feel that your neck is long as your shoulders release down your back. Breathing here, in through the nose, out through the nose. And on your next exhalation, releasing from triangle pose, sweep that right arm down and come into a lunge position, preparing for our balancing pose, half moon. Remember, you can keep both hands on the floor and just lift your right leg up as high as possible. If you feel steady, take your right hand to your right hip. And for more of a challenge, extend your right arm straight up towards the ceiling and try to gaze towards your lifted thumb. To intensify this pose, bend your right knee, reach back with your right hand and grab your ankle. Half moon, half bow pose. And release your foot if you have it. Take a breath in. As you exhale, bringing the right hand down to the mat, bending that left knee, slowly lunging back, and dropping your right knee, shin bone, top of the foot, presses down into the mat. Lean into those hips a little bit. Either keep your hands on the floor or breathe in, lift your arms overhead. Clasp your hands, reach out through the index fingers, and begin to arc back, opening up your chest. Press firm into that left heel. Take one more deep breath in. Release those hands with your exhalation. Step back. Let's lower through chaturanga, breathing out. Inhaling, upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Nice work. Let's take a breath here. And we'll exhale out completely. Breathing in, walking, stepping, or jumping to the front of your mat. Lift and extend your spine. Exhale, folding in and down. Bending your knees again. Breathe in, reach your arms out to the side and overhead, chair position. And exhale, sweeping those arms down, bringing the hands together at the front of the chest, standing tall in mountain pose. and breathing. All right, from here, let's move into some deep hip opening poses. On your next breath in, reach your arms up and overhead. Exhaling, diving over the thighs, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, taking the feet back, lowering down through chaturanga, breathing into up dog and breathing out through downward facing dog. From down dog, go ahead and drop your knees to the mat, and you can just cross your ankles and then roll back over those feet, coming into a seated position. Start with Dandasana staff pose. So extend your legs straight out. Let your hands rest alongside your hips. Roll the shoulders back and down, lifting your chest, dropping your chin slightly, and lifting up from the lowest part of your belly. Close your eyes or just gaze off the tip of your nose and breathe. And from here, let's slide the feet back a few inches, bringing the soles of the feet to touch. When you look down, you should see that the legs are creating a diamond shape. Take a breath in and lift your chest up nice and tall. As you breathe out, tip forward from your hips. Reach down as far as you're comfortable, and then let your upper back round. You're going to let your head hang here and let the neck become relaxed. Take several deep breaths in this pose, releasing through the outer hip muscles, as well as the deep spinal muscles. Each time you breathe in, feel the back of your body opening up and expanding. And as you breathe out, see if you can let go just a little bit more. On your next breath in, slowly roll back up through the spine, lifting your chin at the end, and then pull your heels even further back, bringing the feet close to the inner hips, soles of the feet still touching. Press up on your fingertips and expand the front of your chest, looking up and breathing in. Some of you might stay here. If you can move deeper into the pose, push off your fingertips and start to tip forward from your hips. And then taking the hands forward, either onto the mat or you can grab onto your feet, continuing to fold forward from those hips into full Baddha Konasana bound ankle pose. Again, take several deep breaths here, working into your inner hips this time. Each time you breathe out, see if you can consciously let go of where you're still holding on. And on your next breath in, rising back up, lifting those knees, and from here moving into a pose called double pigeon. So you're going to slide your left ankle underneath, lifting your right ankle and attempting to place it right over the left knee. Ideally, both shin bones are stacked one over the other. If you feel any pressure in your knees, choose to just cross your ankles instead. From your upright seated position, if you feel like you can go a little deeper, with your exhalation, start to walk those hands forward. Wherever you're working in the pose, let yourself breathe deeply right down into the space of your hips. Each time you breathe out, feel yourself letting go of any tension or any stress that you might be holding on to. On your next breath in, walk those hands back if you folded forward. And let's switch sides. So again, you can either cross your ankles or scoop up your left ankle and place it above your right knee. See if you can stack your shin bones. Flex both feet a little bit by drawing the toes back towards the knees. Sit up tall, take a breath in, and if you feel like you can move a little deeper, begin to tip forward from your hips. You can rest your elbows on your foreleg or take your hands out to the floor in front of you and fold in and down a little bit deeper. Breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the nose. Your last exhalation, letting go just a little bit more. And then walking those hands back. If you folded forward, lifting your chest up nice and tall. And exhaling, letting the legs release. Go ahead and cross your ankles and then just rock forward and come into tabletop position. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, and press back into downward facing dog pose. From down dog, come through plank position, lowering down chaturanga, breathing into upward facing dog, and breathing back into downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, on your next breath in, walk, step, or hop your feet to the front of your mat, lengthening your spine. And as you exhale, bend both knees, coming down into a little squat. And then rock back, coming into a seated position. Roll down through your spine. Once again, coming onto your back and drawing the knees into the chest, giving yourself a little hug here, circling out the knees from side to side. From here, we're going to wind things down and finish up with one last twist. Take your arms out in line with your shoulders. Palms can turn down. Keeping your knees in close to the chest, take a nice deep breath in. And as you breathe out, letting your knees fall over towards the left. And then let your legs completely relax as best you can. And turn your gaze to look out towards your right hand. Let's take a couple deep breaths here, breathing down into the deep space of your belly. And as you breathe out, see if you can relax your lower spine and release your hips. Good. Take one more full breath out, exhaling completely. Next breath in, we'll begin to lift those knees, bringing them back up towards center. Using those belly muscles a little bit to lift the legs. And once you're back onto your back, take another inhalation. And as you breathe out, let your legs fall nice and heavy over towards the right. And again, roll your gaze towards that left hand and take a few deep breaths. Breathing in, letting the belly open up and expand. Breathing out, letting your spine adjust if necessary. Completely relaxing all of those muscles along the length of your back. Pressing down through the shoulders and relaxing your legs. Your next breath in, lift the legs back up to center. And once again, just grab onto those shin bones and circle the knees. From here, we're going to be moving into our final posture, Shavasana, or final relaxation. As you begin to get comfortable on your back, let your legs stretch out nice and long, and allow your arms to stretch out nice and long. You want to take up a little bit of space for this final pose and really let your body spread out. Gently tuck your chin, lengthening the back of the neck, and let your palms roll up towards the sky. Additionally, let your ankles fall away from one another. Take in a nice deep breath and feel your whole body sighing out as you exhale. Repeat this a few more times, breathing in nice and deeply, whole body exhaling out. Now bring your attention to the surface of your face. Let go of any tension surrounding your eyes. Feel the space between your eyes widening as the forehead softens. Relax down the bridge of your nose and notice the sensation of the breath flowing in and flowing out. Release any holding in your jaw and soften the inside of your mouth. Feel your whole head heavy and relaxed. Take your attention down into your neck. Let go through the throat, sides of the neck, and back of the neck. Feel down into both shoulders, and as you breathe out, let your shoulders drop down nice and heavily upon your mat. Feel both arms and hands releasing any tension. Bring your awareness from the hands back inward towards your heart center. Let your rib cage relax. Soften your chest and feel any tension within your heart and lungs melting away. Feel down into the deep space of your belly and notice the gentle flow of the breath traveling through this space of your body. As you exhale, let your whole belly soften. And from here, move your awareness down deeper into the space of your pelvis and hips. Let go through these areas and begin to feel the heaviness of your legs resting upon your mat. Relax all the way down into your knees, ankles, and feet. Feel your whole body completely relaxed. Feel your mind at ease. Now begin to bring your awareness back to your breath. As you breathe in and as you breathe out, feel how the breath is gently expanding your body and relaxing your body. Next time you breathe in, imagine the breath traveling down to the tips of your fingers and begin to gently stretch them. On your next breath in, imagine the breath flowing all the way down to the tips of your toes and begin to wiggle them. Slowly, breath by breath, allow your body to work into a full stretch, reaching the arms overhead, stretching the legs and the toes nice and long, almost as if your whole body is yawning. When you feel ready, you can roll off onto your right side, coming into fetal position. Rest here for a moment and let yourself take an additional breath. Eventually, working your way all the way back up into an easy cross-legged seated position. Rest your hands in your lap or over your knees. Allow your eyes to close. Sit quietly and breathe. Now, take your attention down into your chest and connect to your heart center. Visualize a flame burning brightly in this area of your body. Allow each breath in to fuel this inner flame, allowing it to grow brighter and brighter. See if you can visualize your whole body being filled with this purifying and radiant light. Letting the light travel up into the head, down into the arms, and down into those legs and feet. And from here, when you're ready, Those arms can come out alongside your body. And as you breathe in, you're going to let your arms stretch out to the side and up and overhead, reaching through the tips of your fingers. As you breathe out, draw your hands down through center, resting the thumbs right in front of your sternum, honoring yourself, honoring your practice, and honoring the light within. Namaste.